1 2 1 2.
I can hear you, Trey.
Let's talk again.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
No, I don't hear you real well. Shoot. I'm gonna put.
Okay. You're taking this in though, right? When we get back here.
Connell, you hear me here?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I can hear you just barely, but I can hear you though.
Is there any way I can like turn it up or anything? Can you hear me better now? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
I hear 1 2 1 2.
Okay, sweet. Sorry,
but
I didn't know if what was happening there. If you were taking that or I was taking.
Yeah, if there's a way to turn up your volume, so I can hear you better. Other than that, I'm barely hearing you.
Is there a way for me to turn up this volume here? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Do it out there. Okay. Hello, 1 2. I'll just keep talking until we come back. 1 2 1 2. Hamtramck, Michigan.
I'm hearing you better. I'm hearing you better.
Okay, sweet. Hamtramck, Michigan is the game where it's going to be played. Detroit City, the juggernaut, going to get knocked off by LA Force, hopefully. Christian Cheney, great striker. Gordillo Moreno.
Okay, we're getting into lineups next.
Okay, sweet. Okay, can you still hear me, Trey?
Maybe to pod down the NAT sound, if there's a way to do that. I don't know if that's possible, but.
Wow, it's packed out too.
Now I hear you. I hear you much better.
Okay,
Talk,
sweet.
Okay, it's the NAT sound.
Okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, come
Okay, right into the lineups.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. The Northern Guard is geared up for this NISA championship here in Hamtramck, Michigan. Detroit City FC, fall champs, NISA Legends Cup champs, and now hopes to be spring champs as they take on the LA Force. Great atmosphere for soccer. Let's take a look at the Detroit City lineup brought to you by Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers.
This is very much the scene that we've seen all year, Trey, from this Detroit City FC. Very tight backline of Lewis, Carl, and Manning just above Steinwasser there. They'll be looking Venegas and Fowlerman to be getting the width there to try and bring Rutz, Sadie, and Rodriguez into the game. You might see some interchange in there in the middle, but the main thing is to get Connor Rutz, Cyrus Sadie close to Botello Faz so he can keep doing what he's been doing all year.
And there is the MVP of NISA.
Pato Botello Faz, MVP, as you're saying. 5 goals this year coming in, including the last one in, and 1 assist in that as well. 8 appearances. He hasn't been here long, but he has made his presence felt.
The LA Force lineup brought to you by Zara. Here it is.
Yep, it's going to be a very difficult game here for the LA Force. They're going to try and do something similar as they did in the second half of the semi-final. They're going to put the pressure on, get the ball up to their main man in Gordillo Moreno so he can give the ball to Cheney. Cheney's the goal scorer. He could be the goal winner and the game winner today.
Can't be playing much better soccer than this team. You look at the captain, Abraham Villon. They down-carded his red card to a yellow. That's good news.
Absolutely. We wouldn't want to see him miss this one. He's a good player. Gordillo Moreno the same as well. Villon always in the thick of it. He's involved in everything that goes on. Anything that goes on going forward will be this guy, Gordillo Moreno. Hugo Brandon Gomez. He had 2 shutouts before the semi-final. He'll be looking to keep that going. But the benchmark is that man right there in Nate Steinwasser. They call him Steinmonster for a reason. He keeps the ball out of the net. He is the last man they have to beat, and they'll have their hands full trying to do it tonight.
Ernie Stewart, the sporting director for the U.S. Soccer Federation, on hand as they have the coin toss here. Detroit City FC and the LA Force. Great environment for soccer, pristine conditions, and we're ready to go at the key. Detroit City, can they continue their championship success against upstart LA Force? The Force have been fantastic, winners of 7 of their last 8. Sunny skies, no rain in the forecast. Let's take a look at the Detroit City keys, brought to you by Google Fi.
Well, the keys here are pretty similar as we've seen, Trey, coming into this one. Detroit City need to keep that train rolling. They are the benchmark. They're the juggernaut in NISA. They are the ones that need to be taken down. They just need to keep playing how they're playing, and they'll surely win this one.
The LA Force keys brought to you by Contact.
LA Force, they know they have their work cut out for them today. They have to set down a marker early. Very rarely do the Detroit City give up a lead, and if they do get that lead, they very rarely lose the game. Thales Peterson, he'll know what he has to do here. His work is cut out for him. He's coached at every level in the US, from grassroots right up to the pros. He knows what it takes, and he'll be looking to get his hands on some silverware tonight.
Dramatic second half with those 3 goals to win the NISA semifinal. Thales Peterson says pressure is a privilege, and it doesn't get much bigger than this. And Trevor James, the NISA Coach of the Year winner, he has been fantastic at so many levels, Connell, and he senses they've got a chance at another championship. He loves his team.
Well, absolutely, and they should love him. If they keep him in town, they're going to have to go shopping for a bigger trophy cabinet, Trey, because it seems that everything he plays in, the team seem to win.
LA decked out in the dark uniforms. Detroit City in the gold and white, and a full house here in Hamtramck, Michigan at Keyword Stadium. We touched on how it's strength against strength, the defense of Detroit City against the LA Force offense, but let's not kid ourselves. Both of these teams do well on the other side of the field. Also, Trevor James' offense starting to pick up with Pato at the front of that attack.
Absolutely, Trey. Trevor James, everywhere he goes, he seems to win. And
there's a shot that's into the goal area and finally cleared out of there as the LA Force making some early noise here in this NISA championship.
Well, that's just what we were saying with the keys of the game there, Trey. They're going to have to set down a marker early. They know what it's going to take to beat this Detroit City. Not just the 11 on the field and not just the men on the bench, but as you can see, a jam-packed crowd here in Hamtramck, Michigan tonight. They're all thirsting for another trophy, and that man Trevor James, he'll be trying to bring it home to them. No safer hands in NISA as far as I'm concerned.
Corner kick opportunity here in the first couple minutes for the LA Force. Far post punched out of there by Steinwasser. He's been fantastic. Only 3 goals allowed. He had 7 straight clean sheets at one juncture. What a guy to have, and he's got a great back line in front of him.
He really does. 3 goals, pardon me, is all they've given up. 1 from open play. I mean, honestly, Trey, that's pretty unheard of in any league at any level. That is unbelievably impressive. 3 goals given up, just the 1 from open play. I mean, you look at some of the greatest defenses in the world and they wouldn't even boast those records.
At Detroit City FC now. On that end line, top of the box, shot by Rodriguez is high. Maxi Rodriguez giving one a ride there. San Antonio, Texas product.
Yeah. Joseph Patrick Perez is going to have to be wary down that right wing. In the left wing, whereas they're attacking him, he just let the attacker get in front of him there, get to the byline, pulled that back, and Rodriguez may feel he could have done better there, but he just tried to get something on it. Just a bit too high, was always rising, unfortunately for him.
Maxi has 1 goal during the spring season at Cal United in the 67th minute. You and I were talking pre-match. If somehow the LA Force can strike, put Detroit City on their heels, they haven't been in that position very often.
They have not. One team that has is the LA Force. They know what it's like to go behind and come back. Detroit City, not as much. And look, it's really down to them and how good they've been. They haven't really given up many leads this year. any ones that they have, they've clawed it back. Of course, they're undefeated this season coming into this game. It'll be interesting to see if the LA Force can put one on the board, how they'll react to it, and how this crowd will. I mean, it's a great crowd at the minute, and they're feeding off it, but if they start to go behind, some of the members of the crowd could get on their backs, and it'll be interesting to see how they come back from that.
Everyone played down the sideline, too much on it. Connor Rutz running on that ball, a box-to-box player. He can run all day, according to his coach, Trevor James. Second season with Detroit City. He was an attacker in college. Here's Christian Cheney. Tremendous season for him. He's taken down near that center line. The Golden Boot winner, 7 goals this spring. You got to find a way to get him in the box and get him involved if you're the LA Force.
For sure, and he seems to thrive on this responsibility that he's been given. A lot of the teams that he's played for before, he's kind of played second fiddle. He hasn't been the main man. Here in LA, after Chandler Hoffman went down especially, he is the main man. He's the guy that they're looking to, not only to get the goals, but to bring other players into the game as well. He's a big physical presence up top, and we know that he has an eye for goal.
Top of the box right now, Cheney, as they play things over to Joseph Perez, the Anaheim, California product. It's not just about Cheney, though he draws a lot of the attention. You mentioned Christian Gordillo Moreno, so important. Diego Barrera, Abraham Villon on the attack. The captain's so important as well. Gordillo Moreno trying to win that ball. Maxi Rodriguez clears it out of there. Cyrus Sadie took a knock in the NISA semifinal. He's okay. Good to see him out there, number 10.
He's a very important player for them. Cyrus Sadie, and everything that's going forward. He's a tireless worker. He can throw in a tackle, and he can see a pass as well. He can unlock a defense, win the ball high up the field, and provide for Pato Botello-Faz, as we've seen him do.
Goal kick coming. Yeah, we talked about Pato and Christian Cheney. Look at these numbers and the goals per minute.
Absolutely incredible. When you look at, they are both the main men on their teams, and that's it. It's kind of all down to them. If they don't score, there's not many around them that do. That's more the case for Christian Cheney and not really for Botello-Faz, but they have really stepped up this year, both in the assist department and the goals. And if it wasn't for Christian Cheney, who knows what the LA Force would be.
The LA Force, an amazing story when you consider Chandler Hoffman lost to a knee injury during the NISA Legends Cup. So much of their offense was based around him. Cheney has slid right into that position. You just don't see that very often, filling the shoes of a star player like that so well.
And it's not what I was saying again, thriving on that pressure. Chandler Hoffman went down, and let's be honest, Trey, a bunch of us looked at each other and thought, the LA Force aren't going to do much this season. He proved every single one of us wrong. He stepped up, took to it like a duck to water, and he's been firing in the goals ever since. He hasn't really looked back since his opening goal, and he's going to hope to add to that tonight.
Gordillo Moreno playing it back as the LA Force play the possession game here. McLaughlin. Colwell back there on that back line. They surround Alvarado, who tries to keep possession to no avail.
Just trying to do too much there. It's an Alvarado.
A dynamic offense. They have won 7 of 8, and they have scored 2 goals or more in the last 4 matches. 3 of them in that second half in the semifinal.
Yeah, that was a terrific comeback in the semifinal. One word that comes to mind when you think of this LA Force team is resiliency. Every time it looks like they're down and out, they fight back, they prove us all wrong. They'll be looking to do that again because they're entering this game the underdogs, of course. Let's see how they respond to that moniker tonight.
Barrera winning the ball for the LA Force. Venegas the other way for Detroit City FC. Battle in the midfield. Here come the guys in the dark jerseys now.
That quick breakaway, it's going to be so important for the LA Force tonight. Detroit City, I expect to have most of the ball, like they do in most of their games. And honestly, I think LA are fine with that. They know they're coming into this game. They're the underdogs. They know that Detroit are going to play football when they get it. They're going to knock it about. They may have to be patient, but that one ball over the top that could get Christian Cheney in could be the one that wins this game. And they'll be looking for it all night, like that diag from McLaughlin.
Diagonal pass, a little bit too much on it right there. The one thing about Tallis Peterson's comments about this season, the LA Force did not have a chance to practice on their home field in the early stages. They had to go to Irvine, did not play home games, and he says that they've kind of bonded around that, having to be the road warriors, getting victories away from home, and he thinks that's helped him out and has so far in this postseason with the win in Detroit against Chattanooga in the semifinal.
Well, absolutely. It just shows you the character that's in this LA Force team. They have hardly had a home game all season. Every time they've went away, we've looked like they're up against it. But they came back in that semifinal, 3-2 against Chattanooga. They were on a great win streak before that. They beat the Michigan Stars, Chattanooga, and New Amsterdam 3 on the trot, just after that 3-0 loss to Detroit the last time they visited Hamtramck, Michigan.
And if you haven't seen a game here, it is a delight, especially when the train rolls through by the stadium. We'll see some smoke. We'll see plenty of noise from the Northern Guard, the fan support system here.
They really are unbelievable, the Northern Guard. They really
good connection here.
On.
Rutz gets it on the wing. Pato makes his move against Colwell. Colwell stays right with him. Colwell has been fantastic. Here's Sadie, though. That's deflected and a shot, and it's denied. Gomez.
Yeah, that was a good save. Gomez had to get his angles right there. It would have been a soft penalty called on Pato, but he kept it alive. Fair play to him, got back up. Cyrus Sadie just squares the ball, and Rutz may want that one back. He think he could have rattled the net with that one, but fair play, Brandon Gomez got his angle spot on. He was on hand to make the save.
Colwell and Seamus McLaughlin have been rock solid on that back line. So consistent playing back there in front of Brandon Gomez. Gomez dealt with a wrist injury early in the season, back to 100%. And that one, a one-hopper to Steinwasser. Well, there's a reason these teams are in the championship, and goalkeeping goes a long way when you've got that solid play back there. You feel really good about your chances.
Oh, absolutely. The Steinwasser, of course, Golden Gloves again this year. No surprise to everyone. He's been fantastic in the goals. As we've said, only allowed 3 goals all year. It's incredible when you think about it this season. But Christian Cheney's in here.
Here he is, top of the box. Cheney looking for some help, and that's deflected. And that was Stephen Carroll with a nice play, the NISA Defender of the Year. Yeah, you've got the top goalkeeper, the Gold Glove winner in Steinwasser, and then the Defender of the Year in Carroll, the captain. Pretty good 1-2 punch.
For sure, a daunting task for any attack that's coming up against them. Stephen Carroll, he really is the leader of this team. He marshals from the back. Good man out of Cork, the rebel county in Ireland. I'm sure there'll be a few up right now watching that at 10 to 1 in the morning in the south side of Ireland.
Fellow Irishman, I'm sure you're obviously interested in his play, and he was the NISA Tournament Golden Ball winner in 2020 as well.
For sure, yeah, I mean, he's just a stalwart back there. You know exactly what you're getting from him. What you see is what you get with Stephen Carroll. He marshals that defense. He talks to everyone around him, very vocal. And then, of course, when it comes to the big task like Christian Cheney, he's the one that's put on him. And he's the one that usually does the job.
Here's Alvarado now, trying to sneak that one through to Carroll in the box. Triple teamed over there. Build a wall in front of him. Here's the cross. Nothing doing. Steinwasser on top of it. That was Perez putting it on him.
Yeah, good cross from Joseph Perez. Just a bit early, you know, test the goalkeeper. Let him come out and see how his hands are, see how his nerves are. Not that he'll be getting to Nate Steinwasser, of course. He's played in these big games before, but good to test him early doors.
Trevor James saying his shot stopping second to none, Steinwasser, but he's gotten so much better at the crosses as well. A complete keeper.
Very, very good. Very daunting. I mean, he's not actually the tallest player on the pitch, but he's a great spring. Anytime the balls come in anywhere near the 6-yard box, he's usually out to collect. And that gives the defenders in front of him such a breath of fresh air, knowing that they have a commanding goalkeeper who's going to come for the ball, who's not scared, won't let the occasion get to him. He'll be out to punch or catch, if at all possible.
14 minutes in here. Detroit City FC and the LA Force. Detroit City FC trying to keep their run of championship wins together after winning the fall and then the NISA Legends Cup and being on top of the table in the spring season, winning more hardware. You set the bar so high, and in any sport, it's tough to stay up there, and that's the challenge every year. These fans appreciate what they see.
Well, it's the hunger, it's the passion. You need to keep all those, you need to keep the fire in your belly, and that's what Trevor James is there to do. He's there to constantly keep those boys on their toes. I mean, it's not as hard when you have a great squad behind you there, like we've seen in the Northern Guard. They're there, rain, hail or shine. They'll be there to cheer on their team. Glorious support.
I love the Beat LA sign too, harkening back to the Pistons-Lakers basketball rivalry. Detroit and LA, they've always had a rivalry thing going in many sports.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, when you look at Detroit City really are, they're the juggernaut up there. I mean, my American soccer, or my American sports knowledge isn't fantastic, but from what I know, the Red Wings, the Lions, the Pistons, they're not doing great at the moment. Detroit City really are. They're the juggernaut up there.
Yeah, great sports fans. They're showing well here at the Key. The LA Force with more possession here in the first 15 minutes plus. They can attack very quickly. Cheney with a touch. The more touches he gets, the more attention he draws. Even if he's not attacking the goal, that'll keep you on your heels. Maybe open up things.
You see this man on the ball a lot tonight, Abraham Villon. Sometimes he'll drop into that defense, let other players break a bit further forward, give those two wing backs a chance. He steps in, makes another man at the back there, giving them license to roam. And that is really indispensable when you're looking to get boys up and down that wing, get the ball into Christian Cheney or to the feet of Gordillo Moreno so he can feed Cheney. But that man, Abraham Villon, he really is the beating heart of this team. Very combative midfielder, always in the thick of it, always throwing in challenges, winning back possession. Starting, it may not be the most glorious work in that he won't be getting all the highlights, but absolutely indispensable when it comes to a team like LA Force.
And you want your captain to be vocal. Glad to have him. They thought it would be a red card and he wouldn't be able to participate today, but downgraded to a yellow after an altercation in the NISA semifinal. Looked like the right call. They did a good job reviewing that. He's such a key piece for the LA Force.
Yeah, I was glad to see that they rescinded that, honestly, for both players. It was a bit of argy-bargy. I mean, you kind of expected tempers were running high. It was 3-2 at the time to the LA Force. Chattanooga trying to get back into the game. Of course, no one likes to see it spill over, but that's what passion does, and that's those two boys. They just wanted to be in the final.
Argy-bargy, kind of helter-skeltered. Is that the same description there?
Absolutely.
Looking for the translation. I like it. Here's Rodriguez.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's just one of those things. Sometimes it happens, a bit of a coming together, and just tempers get flare. You don't like to see players missing finals for that sort of thing. So I'm glad that NISA reviewed that and they downgraded both red cards to yellows.
Oh, here's a collision here. Pato and the guy we just talked about, Abraham Villon, and that is not a good look.
I was just talking about it. He's very combative. He's always in the thick of it. That looks like he's taking a sore one there to the side of the head.
Pato about 6'170". Villon, one of the smaller players on the field, but as you mentioned, a very aggressive player. And that's quite a knock right there. Here's another look.
Oh. Hello.
The elbow maybe?
Certainly looks like it. The elbow was extended. Came towards the face of Villon, and that really does look like a nasty one. Corner of the elbow there. Right on the eyebrow, it looked like. Villon took it. He's a tough cookie. No doubt trying to play on here.
Yeah, you know, speaking of blue-collar guys, this is one of those guys in NISA you got to really tip your hat to. He has worked his way all the way up the youth pyramid to put himself in this spot in the NISA championship game from Sylmar, California. And a look of concern from Tallis Peterson.
And yeah, he's a right to be concerned at the minute. That's his captain. This is his voice on the pitch. He's been given that captain's armband. Those players know what that means. He's the voice of the manager on the pitch. He marshals everyone. He keeps everyone going. Gets them into position.
Oh, wow. Looks like a prize fighter there. Looks like he wants to stay on. So important. Again, we talked about how he brings together this team, bonds them along with Christian Gordillo Moreno. You'd hate to have to make a move here, but his health, the #1 concern.
Absolutely. I think Tallis Peterson's on the same wavelength as you, Trey. He's just telling Tamori Elwine just to get warmed up there just in case. This really would be a hammer blow for LA Force if they were to lose their captain just 20 minutes into this. But you know what? As I said, he's tough. He's up.
Got the swim cap on. Whatever works. Well, that is a tough captain right there.
Absolutely. He may look a bit like Michael Phelps, but he'll be continuing this on. You see just there how important he is. 3 assists, 6 goals in his 16 appearances. And goal scoring isn't even normally his thing. He's usually the midfielder, the winner, the worker. The terrier in there who'll bite at the heels of everyone around him. Try and win that ball back. Give it to the more advanced players like Gordillo Moreno and Cheney to try and break down those defenses. But wow, he really did take a sore one there. I'll be impressed if he stays on. The heart of a lion.
And one played to the keeper here after that collision. And #7 is back on. Championship match. All hands on deck. And not everybody's 100%. That includes Abraham Villon here, but what a competitor.
Absolutely. It kind of just shows everything that he's about as a player right there. No knocks are going to take him out of this game. Not while he's still able to stand, still able to walk. He'll be there fighting in the middle of that park to put the ball in the Detroit City net.
One goes end line to end line. And a goal kick coming. Look at Villon, right back at it.
Never missed a beat. Straight back in. Sore eye? No way.
Winners of 7 of their last 8. We'd mentioned that only lost to this Detroit City team 3-0. Pato had a couple goals in that one. Max Todd, who's not going to play today, had a goal. Here's Rodriguez now. Here is Pato in the corner. And that flip towards the near post, staying in play, and then it's cleared out.
Absolute bomb scare defending there by Joseph Patrick Perez. I think he just misread the bounce, just caught him in the top of the head. And back towards the goalkeeper, thankfully for him. The ball was hooked clear for them to win a throw, but it's thankful nothing really came of that one.
And one makes it all the way to the center line to Cheney. Here's Sadie trying to control it. Sadie so creative, technical, neat and tidy is what Trevor James called it.
He really is. When he gets the ball to his feet, he seems very comfortable with his back to goal. Bringing other players into the game, can always get turned and try and play forward. We're seeing Detroit City come into the game a bit more now.
Di Marino playing back to Villon. Barrera, who has 3 goals this season from Colombia.
Another player that stepped up when they needed him this year, Trey.
Cheney flicks it back. Villon. That one at the keeper near post, and Steinwasser is there.
One thing
Not a bad idea.
One thing they really can't afford to do here, the LA Force, is to leave Christian Cheney isolated. Any games you see that they have trouble, even in that first 3-0 Detroit City game, it was still 0-0 at halftime going into that game. They didn't really get Cheney involved enough. When he gets involved, when he can get the ball to feet, bring it down, that's when he gives teams a terrible time at defense. They'll be looking to get the ball into his feet more.
Another collision here. Alex Colwell and Pato colliding. And a free kick coming for Detroit City FC. Pato had a couple goals, 46th and 71st minute against the LA Force in that 3-0 win. Venegas is the specialist in this category, the free kick.
He really does have a great delivery, Venegas. He's played some MLS in his time. Shoving the back there by McLaughlin.
And there's a shot by Carroll, turned back. Stephen Carroll did not waste much time driving that one towards the goal.
Yeah, he was there to attack it right away. Long throw. Detroit City.
Into the fray. Headed out of there. Back to Filerman. Filerman keeping it in play. Pato. Osageda there. Now a counter. And broken up. Good play right there.
Very good play from Maxi Rodriguez. He had to break that up, or else Christian Cheney and Diego Barrera were off to the races there. It was a good, he stuck his leg out well, he done well. If he didn't foul him, the best thing was to get the ball. He came away with it.
And that's that quick strike ability we were talking about with this LA Force team. You turn your head and they can make things really interesting in the attacking end. Cyrus Sadie, who played his college ball at Michigan State from Liberia. Rodriguez trying to win that one. Well, he's been all over the field. Look at Rodriguez. Great effort. And then knocked down by Villon.
That's tremendous centre field play there from Maxi Rodriguez. Wins the initial ball, flicks the ball over the head, and then he gets fouled and wins his team a free kick in a pretty dangerous area. Looks like they're probably going to try and float it into the box again. Put Brandon Gomez under a bit more pressure, but it's just good, strong centre midfield play there. And you can tell he's fired up for this game.
Here's Venegas again, who had a goal in the NISA Legends Cup finale against Chattanooga FC. So important on the attack with his service. This is a ways out though, right by that center circle. Plays it in, looking for Pato. Diego Barrero punches it out of there.
Gives a handball there. Pato still.
Pato, and a corner kick. Perez in front of that one.
Perez done well there. He had to stop the cross coming in. Pato looked like to be a handball. All the LA Force turned towards the referee to make a decision. Pato didn't. He kept playing. Tried to square the ball into the middle there. It was thankfully read by Joseph Patrick Perez for the LA Force.
Sadie over the ball here. The corner. Far post and a whistle.
Yeah, it just looked like a shove in the back there on Perez. Cheap foul to give away for Detroit City, especially when they're on the attack there. That was a chance that they could have taken advantage of, but just a bit too rough and tumble there in the middle of the box.
It is tough to score on this Detroit City team, and you look at their season. Not beaten during the spring season. Only 2 teams pulled off draws against them. The Michigan Stars 1-1 and Stumptown AC a scoreless final.
Yeah, they've been tremendous this year. Just picked up right where they left off in the fall season. They are definitely the benchmark here in NISA.
Oh, there's another collision. This is physical play here in the first half. Gordillo Moreno. Is that Rodriguez?
Indeed, and it looks like a yellow card as well. Christian Gordillo Moreno.
Rodriguez is down. So yellow on the attacking midfielder for the LA Force. Another guy that's crucial to their success. Veteran presence, Gordillo Moreno, and you could say the same thing about Maxi Rodriguez shaking up here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's too much in that, honestly. It looked like he tried to go for the shoulder. He may have mistimed it a bit and caught him on the front instead, but it didn't look like it was too malicious to me.
Getting his breath there.
You know, maybe just caught him off guard, winded him maybe a bit. Rodriguez, he's a big boy.
He's been very active here in the first half. Almost 32 minutes gone here. Detroit City FC and the LA Force playing for the NISA Championship here in the spring. Too much on that one.
Good idea.
As Rutz was running on it.
It was a good idea. Rutz just didn't really read it. A bit too much on it, as you said. It was smart to try and pivot the ball back over towards the byline for Rutz to chase, but unfortunately just a bit too much on it. LA Force will be looking to take this ball back out now.
Played forward on the hop to Steinwasser.
You can definitely see what the LA Force's game plan is here. Anytime they get some space to try and that long ball to Cheney, trying to get him to bring it down, or maybe even have him in on goal if they get a lucky bounce. Trying to get him to control the ball and bring the other Barrera and Christian Gordillo Moreno into the game with him.
He's so good at, with his back to the goal, holding the ball, waiting for people to surround him, and can make his own moves in there. And Part of the reason he has 7 goals this spring. He's had 2 different games where he scored 2 goals apiece against Maryland and Chattanooga FC. Golden Boot winner.
Yeah, he really has caught fire this year, and he has not stopped scoring. The LA Force, they've came under a bit of pressure this year. Several games, they've went behind some games. They've really looked to him to be their talisman up there. It's the hardest thing to do in the sport, Trey, is to put balls in the back of the net, and that's a man who knows how to do it. Try to keep hold onto those players with everything you have.
And a lot of coaches will tell you, Connell, it's okay to be selfish when you're the goal scorer. You need a guy like that that knows his role.
Absolutely, because when it comes to the 90th minute, and if it's still 0-0, who do you think they're all going to be trying to give the ball to? Selfish Christian Cheney up top. Yeah, you be selfish all you want there. Have as much shots as you want.
Here's Sadie now. Filerman flips it towards the goal. Rutz is on it, and a collision with Gomez.
Gomez does well there. He nearly got himself caught in no man's land. Came out, tried to collect. I don't think he knew Connor Rutz was as close as he was, but fair play to Rutz. The ball was there to be won. Floating ball in there. Gomez with his eye on the ball the whole time. I don't think he realized Rutz was as close as he was, but came out of it with the ball. That's all that matters.
Di Moreno now trying to get it ahead to Cheney. Barrera to Villon. They reset. Edson Alvarado, their defensive midfielder.
Almost looking like he's playing right wing back there. Alvarado as they're playing at the minute. Villon's dropped back into almost an auxiliary centre half beside McLaughlin and Colwell there.
Yeah, a lot of times he's played in the middle of the field, but you have brought up a good point. Cheney looked like he might have been limping earlier. Looks like he's okay. 35 minutes in here, first half. It's NISA championship. Flipped ahead. Touched by Pato. Pato with the shot wide.
Just wide at the post there by Pato. Maybe a little selfish of him there rather than Cheney. He had Rutz in the middle, 3 men around him. Decided to go for goal. Maybe it was a little too late. That's a fantastic first touch to get the ball out of his feet. Stuck under him a bit there, and he just tries to go for goal, but just snatches at it a little, drags it wide.
You know, Pato, the MVP of NISA, but you wonder if, just from an individual standpoint, if he wants to showcase something a little bit more here. I know it's about the team, but Cheney gets so much attention. And those 2 strikers, the 2 best in NISA this season.
Strikers are competitive that way. You know, both of those guys will be fighting for the headlines tomorrow. Christian Cheney and Pato Patello-Faz. They'll want their names in lights tomorrow. That's what all strikers are about. Of course, they contribute and help the team as well, but they are the goal scorers. They'll be the ones that'll be taking all that on their shoulders tonight.
Well, here's an interesting set piece here as Gordia Moreno over the ball. They set up the wall, top of the box.
Set piece is going to be very important for the LA Force. Very similar to the position where Christian Gordillo Moreno scored from against Chattanooga.
He did. Here he bends it in, same idea. Put it in about the same spot where he scored that goal. There's a collision. McLaughlin over there with Filerman.
Looks like McLaughlin has won the free kick, much to the chagrin of Filerman, although he did kind of just run through the back of him, so I don't know why he has too many complaints. Six of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, had position, as you mentioned. Maybe tried to hook him with the arm there, but had initial position, did his work early.
Indeed, McLaughlin done well to shepherd the ball out. Felt a little nudge in the back and went down. Looks like Detroit are actually putting a wall in front of this, which it's going to have to be good if he's going to work the goalkeeper from here.
Edson Alvarado with his left foot here. Sadie standing right on that end line.
Is that Gordillo Moreno or Diego Barrera just on the line there. Giving Nate Steinwasser something to think about.
Short corner here for Alvarado. Let's see what he can do with it. Near post, into the middle of the traffic, and Sadie punches it out with his left foot.
A fantastic delivery there from Perez.
So 38 minutes gone, and you'd have to say the LA Force have fared well here. Road environment. You mentioned being the underdog, still playing with a lot of confidence.
Well, they know what they have to do, is their thing, Trey. They know that Detroit City are the benchmark. They know that they've got beat 3-0 earlier on in the season this year. 3-0 maybe flattered Detroit City that night. I don't think LA Force were that bad. It took them a while to get into the game. Of course, with the isolation of Christian Cheney didn't help them either, but seem to be getting a bit more into the game this time around. They certainly have fared well in this first 45.
Here's Venegas, high in the air, Gomez, and he stays with it. Filerman trying to make a move towards the goal, but Gomez right on it.
Yeah, it just looked like he got caught under it there for a minute, Trey. The ball was right over the top of him. Don't know if the sun got in his eyes or whatever, but he just misjudged it slightly. Could have been awkward there. Could have bounced any which way. Thankfully, he was on hand again. Quick back up. Again, a good goalkeeper does. Just pulls the ball back into the safety of his arms.
Glad you're with us in Hamtramck, Michigan at Keyworth Stadium, the NISA Championship between Detroit City FC and the LA Force. Detroit trying to keep the run of championships going after winning the fall season and the NISA Legends Cup. They were the top team in the spring table this year, but the LA Force, the hottest team, winners of 7 of their last 8 coming in. Tremendous offensive club, nothing on the board so far.
It's a tough environment to play in as well. Coming in here with this capacity crowd, being not very nice to the LA Force, which we'd expect, giving everything to support their team, Detroit City. It really is a great club, Detroit City. Honestly, Trey, doing my research for this game, seen that they really are a brilliant community-based club. Really involved with the fans, love to get them involved. They have a lot of fundraisers and pride raisers and stuff that they do in the community. You can see that's why they come out and support in such numbers. They really feel attached to this club. Very similar to a club that I would look at from back home. Very similar to like an Irish or an English club, just the way everything is built, community-based around the club.
Here's Christian Gordia Moreno now, hooks it in there. In traffic, trying to get the bicycle kick, back out. Villatoro, still alive in there. And then a kick to the face as Rutz goes down. He took a boot there.
Well, that's what you want to see in a final. People putting their limbs in harm's way. That's certainly what Connor Rutz did there. Done very well. He might have taken a nasty one to the face. He knew the ball was there, had to be one. Like Vion in the first half, he put his team first. Something that the Detroit City players are not very happy about at the minute. Oh, and it looks like another bloody collision.
First Vion and now Rutz.
Yeah, I think the Detroit City players sensed that there was no card for that one. Not very pretty.
You expect intensity in a championship match. It has been physical as well here in the first half.
It really has. I mean, we do like to see players throwing everything at it. Sometimes it can get a bit bloody out there, as we've seen. The Detroit City players still arguing with the referee that there should have been a card.
Trevor James says our goal each and every match, be proactive. We don't want to wait for someone to make a play. Win the individual battles. It's been quite a battle so far with the LA Force.
As Detroit City will know that they're in a game here. A lot of the games they play, they have a lot of it their own way, but LA Force, credit to them, they've put it up to them here in the first 43. They have been physical, they've been forward thinking, attacking, trying to get the ball into Christian Cheney any chance that they can. Trevor James, of course, he's been through many things like this before. He's been everywhere, all over the world, coaching, scouting. He really knows how to win these types of games.
LA Galaxy, Chicago Fire, Portland Timbers, to name a few. Highest levels in the US and Europe.
Of course, he was a scout under Sir Bobby Robson as well, a revered name in the world of soccer at Barcelona, when Bobby Robson was the coach there, of course, against Newcastle in 01 and 02. Quite the resume.
You know, at the start of the preseason, Trevor James had mentioned, I'm a coach that likes to get the players forward, an attacking type coach. They become more of that type of a team as the season has worn on. Their defense obviously has been their strength. But this is one of those guys that's been an attacking type player in ruts. Michigan kid.
Yeah, he's vital up there in connecting with Pato, Patelo Faz, Cyrus Sadie in and around him, George Shamakov and Maxi Rodriguez. They all kind of play off each other. Connor Rutt's definitely one of the more attacking thinking of the four. It would be a blow to lose him so early.
Has actually a couple goals this season. So the goal kick for Steinwasser. And a very physical knockdown, drag-out first half. Just what you'd expect from a NISA championship. Two teams really going at it hard here with a lot on the line.
Well, that's it. It's the chance to loft the trophy ahead at the end of this game. Both teams seem to know exactly what is at stake here. They're throwing everything into every challenge. It has been a bit cagey, both relying on their defenses at times. I expect it may open up slightly more in the second half.
You see Rutt's back out there. They've added 4 minutes of time here to the first half.
Yeah, it's surprising considering Villon's earlier injury and then the Connor Rutt's injury.
Not many empty seats here at Keyworth Stadium.
Interchange play there.
Well done. Here's Cheney. Villon.
Touchback.
Here's Perez. Crosses it in front. Two players there, and it's popped up into the air. Villon, Sadie challenging. And possession for the LA Force here. He's changed his headgear.
He has.
Matchup right there, Sadie and Villon. Here's Alvarado. They try to generate something here in the final minutes of added time in the first half. Too much on that one.
Just not
on
really
the diagonal pass.
Not really coming off at the minute, Trey, for that diagonal pass. They've tried it a few times now. Just doesn't really seem to be working. The Detroit City defense are almost reading it every time, expecting it. Although expecting it and stopping it are two different things, especially with people with the likes of Christian Cheney around. All it takes is one to fall to his feet.
Barrera. Matt Lewis, who's been fantastic. He was the Golden Ball winner at the NISA Legends Cup. Couple him with Carroll and Anthony Manning. What a back line they have.
untouchable this year at times. As we've already mentioned, just the 3 goals conceded in the spring season. It's crazy to even think. In all the games that they've played, that's all they've let go. It shows. Every one of them on top of their game at the minute. Matt Lewis just being one of those 3, playing tremendous football.
Off of Cheney's leg there, lucky to keep possession. Vione will try the right flank now. Remember, this LA Force team shut out in the first half of the NISA semifinal by Chattanooga FC, and then they exploded for 3 goals in the second half.
Would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that halftime team talk, Trey. Remember, Tallis Peterson said it definitely worked. It came out all guns blazing in that second half.
Foul on the LA Force there as 49 minutes are complete here. Yeah, they trailed early stages second half 2-0 to Chattanooga, and then Cheney in the 57th minute, Osagate in the 70th minute, and then Gordia Moreno in the 83rd, the game winner. And we have nothing on the board here from Keyworth Stadium in Hamtramck, Michigan. Scoreless, Detroit City FC and the LA Force in the NISA Championship. Your thoughts on the first half?
It was a tough first half, both teams giving it everything. As you see, they're leaving with some war wounds here. Not the greatest football played by each team, but you expect that in the final. Kind of cagey. They want to try and take their chances in the second half.
We'll be back with more from Hamtramck, Michigan, with a trophy on the line. Okay. There we go. Where's my coat? I can make it. Okay. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1, 2.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay.
1, 2. So give it a second after he finishes. Okay, I've been trying to do that during the game. Don't know how well that's coming across.
Goes that way. That's good enough.
Is it highlights here? Yeah.
We're back at the NISA Championship. Halftime, Detroit City FC and the LA Force are scoreless. A lot on the line here. We'll have a trophy presentation at the end of the game. Can Detroit City FC continue their run of championships? We'll find out. And as you would expect, Connell, a very physical first half with a lot on the line. We've seen physical play from the outset, and that's really been the story so far in this one.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, there was no bells or whistles on that one. There was no beautiful tiki-taka football being played. It was two teams. They were there. They were giving it everything, both flying into tackles, both really showing what's on the line here. You can see very combative midfield play. It's kind of been a battle of the midfield. See who can get some supremacy there. Some rough and tumble action in the middle. This was Maxi Rodriguez. You can see fighting for every ball, tooth and nail there. Abraham Villon. Villon then took that head injury, took an elbow, but that didn't stop him. He was right back out like the terrier he is, chasing Stephen Carroll, trying to win the corner there for his team. Really showing what this means to each team to try and come away with here with some silverware.
Well, at the outset, we talked about the great defense from Detroit City and then the offense from the LA Force. It could come down to a mistake, a goalkeeping error, or just a tremendous play. Some magic at the end of the game. That's how it usually plays out in these championships.
Yes, it does. It depends on who's going to take advantage of that, though. That's the thing. We've seen LA constantly looking for that diagonal ball. We're seeing a bit more of the physical play in the middle of the pitch here. Abraham Villon taking a nasty one to the corner of the eye there. He's been fighting tooth and nail for every ball after that, donning his Michael Phelps swimming cap. Came back out there. Did have their chances, although Connor Rutz may not want to see this one back again. He took a pretty nasty one of his own to the nose, putting his body in harm's way, showing exactly what it means to be in a final and exactly what it means to compete for some silverware.
Detroit City FC and the LA Force scoreless at Keyworth Stadium. We're back with more after this. A look at Greektown in downtown Detroit and the NISA Championship in nearby Hamtramck, Michigan at Keyworth Stadium. We're scoreless at halftime. Detroit City FC and the LA Force in a very physical first half. This is the spring season of NISA. The fall season is around the corner, but in between, the NISA Independent Cup. It's a great way to bridge the gap between the two seasons. Some friendlies. Look at this group of 54 teams, 9 groups, largest domestic club competition in the United States. And this is a great showcase, Connell, when you look at what's happening coming up.
It really is, Trey. I mean, anybody familiar with soccer on the international stage, it's very much like the FA Cup in that you get a grouping of all the biggest teams and you get some amateur teams thrown in there as well. It makes it really exciting when it comes to, because there could be some absolute giant killings here. We'll see some teams from in and around the periphery of becoming professional taking on these big pro teams, and it's a great chance for those to showcase their skills.
And as we look at our two telecasts on BN Sports, some familiar names, and that Maryland Bobcats team is one that has really come on in terms of the way they've been playing.
They really found their scoring boots towards the end of the season. They didn't really look as hot coming into this spring season, but they really picked up as the season went on. Started scoring goals, started playing better, started understanding each other more and looking more cohesive as a unit. Both of these games look like absolute crackers for this Independent Cup.
Well, a lot on the line here tonight. The NISA Championship for the spring season. And that means some hardware for either Detroit City FC or the LA Force. And that is what is awarded to the winner. Second half right around the corner from Hamtramck, Michigan. You may be looking at the next striker for Detroit City FC, young and old alike here for the NISA Championship at the Key. Detroit City FC and the LA Force as we get ready for the second half. Looking at the numbers, the possession number, does that surprise you?
It really does, Trey. I thought the LA Force looked kind of comfortable when they were in possession in that half. Didn't really look like Detroit were pressing them that high. They were happy enough to let the back 2 or 3, whatever it was, at that stage just pass it around amongst themselves. So kind of shocking that it's so heavily in the favor of Detroit City, but they do like to knock the ball a bit well, can go a bit under the radar. And every time LA Force getting the ball, of course, they're launching it long as well, so that could play a part. It really is delicately poised here for this second half, 0-0. I mean, just depends on which team are going to take advantage first.
Well, you've got two great keepers in Steinwasser and Gomez, and there's a couple key pieces for Detroit City FC. Sadie, who's so creative and technical, and Carroll, the defender of the year in NISA, the captain on that back line. He organizes things, great leader. And you wonder now if this game stays scoreless or tied late stages, does that put the pressure on this Detroit City team, or have they been there so many times that they've come to expect these things and they know when to deliver when needed?
Well, there's definitely a degree of been there, done that before, Trey, in that we're seeing Abraham Villon change his headwear again for the third time. Very in form tonight. It just depends, really, which team wants to take advantage of this in the second half. Both teams, as you said, they haven't exactly been here before. Detroit City way more than the LA Force. They know what it takes to win these big cup finals. The Force, the way they look at it, they've been down and out this year several times. They've responded well. But if you look at the faces of those Detroit City boys, they know this is just a case of getting here, doing the business, and taking home some more hardware. Those boys in black, they'll be looking to spoil the party and bringing the hardware back to the West Coast. But it's all poised now on this 45 minutes. Depends on who responds better to that halftime team talk.
You know, the LA Force want to get the ball on the foot of Christian Cheney a little bit more in this second half. The Golden Boot winner. He is such an important piece and can really have moments where, you know, he just takes over a game. We've seen that on several occasions.
Yeah, he's grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck several times this year. Anytime he's been asked to provide, very rarely lets the LA Force down. Although, this is when it matters. This is squeaky bum time. 45 minutes left in this second half. As I said, both teams, they have to dig deep here. Who's going to respond better?
That would be crunch time. I'm right with you, step by step. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out in front of this big crowd here at Keyworth Stadium. Here's Rodriguez, who was really active in that first half. Missed pass there over the touch line. Pressure is a privilege, according to the LA Force, and plenty of pressure here. You can see it building as this game wears on.
But as you said, Trey, I think that suits the LA Force much better than it does Detroit, because the longer it goes 0-0 here, the drums stop beating, the voices get a bit louder and more angrier coming from the stands. A bit of frustration may build for Detroit City, of course. They're great fans, they're very passionate. They'll get right behind their team.
There's Alvarado now on the move, creating a little space. Cheney with a couple shirts around him there. Villon. Barrera.
Manning done well there. A big commanding header from your centre half. That's exactly what you want. Get the ball back out there.
Villon, and it's Alvarado. Defended well by Lewis. Cheney with a touch and the shot wide. They get Cheney involved in the early going as he swirls, pivots, and makes that move towards the goal.
This is where they need Christian Cheney. Diego Barrera does very well, doesn't give up in this ball, turns. Cheney gets one touch, doesn't quite get it out of his feet, but he snatches at it anyway. He could have given Nate Steinwasser a bit of trouble there. Stephen Carroll didn't really know where the ball was going. That's exactly what they want from Christian Cheney. Ball in defeat. He'll turn and get a shot off.
Again, just the touch early on, hoping they can turn that into something more, set the tone here in the early stages of the second half. Lewis plays that forward. Villon. Now here's Rutz in the corner, looking for some help. Venegas back to Rutz.
It's poor from Edson Alvarado.
And now here's Alvarado the other way, too far out of in front of him there. Sadie to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with the cross, top of the box. Pato feeds it back. Sadie with the left foot high.
It's good centre forward play there from Pato. Does very well to cushion it down on his chest. Sees Sadie in a slightly better position. Thought best to lay it off to him. Sadie just gets under the ball and it's always rising over the bar, unfortunately for him. Doesn't work the goalkeeper.
Di Moreno now. Cheney with a touch. Good defense there from Carroll. Right with him. That's a good matchup. We're keeping a close eye on, of course. Two of the best at this level.
Really has been quite the battle up there between Cheney and Carroll. There's Barrera though.
There's a shot from Barrera. He lets that fly wide of the mark.
That really is a fantastic save from Nate Steinwasser there. He had a long time to see it, but it was driven right in the postage stamp, right top left-hand corner. It does well to just claw it wide. It's a super strike.
Well, that was on frame. It looked to be a little bit off, but great strike right there.
That really is a great save from Nate Steinwasser. He had to put everything behind that there. It was a wonderful strike, wonderful connection from Diego Barrera. Steinwasser was equal to it.
Corner kick opportunity here for the LA Force, putting the pressure on in the first few minutes of this second half. Bennett in there, Chamakov heads it out. Osageda punches it back forward, nobody there.
Maybe seeing clips of himself in the semi-final there, Osageda.
Visions of grandeur.
That really was a terrific strike from Osageda in that semi-final, right when his team needed him most.
Oh, and then Barrera flicking that forward. He looked like he had room to operate in front of him, decided to try one from distance.
Yeah, Steinwasser done well there. I don't think he was ever too worried. He was always making his way back. Barrera just tries to be a little clever, a bit cute, and try and catch him off his line.
And he take another touch there or two. He had a teammate to his left, but opted to try to surprise him there.
I don't think Christian Cheney was too happy with that one, honestly.
One makes its way to Brandon Gomez. Just underway second half, the NISA championship on the line. Detroit City FC and the LA Force.
One thing the Force have done well, they've really nullified those two attacking fullbacks for Detroit City and Venegas and Filerman. Every time they're getting to the ball, there's always someone close. It's almost a trigger to press for the LA Force. And that ball goes wide to the two fullbacks. Straight up the pitch, straight on them. One, if not two, around them at all times.
Rutz flicks it for Rodriguez. Pato. Back to Maxi. Chamakov will play to the right side. Sadie. Good intercept right there.
It really is a chess match here in the middle of the pitch, just waiting for someone to slip up, someone to overextend themselves or to suck a player out here. Trying to find some space in which to work with the Detroit City midfield.
Rutz to throw it in as the Northern Guard cheers on this Detroit City FC team. Carroll back there, manning things from that back line. Here's Anthony Manning, big 6'4" frame. This is the style of play that Detroit City is comfortable with. The LA Force would like to make it more of an up and down type of game.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to force Detroit City to go long. They don't want to get the ball into the feet of their ball players, especially when they have space in which to work with in that attacking third. Although they do leave themselves a bit exposed here.
And here's Barrera, top of the box, the left foot into the couple players there, took a touch on it. Shot from Cheney is deflected.
Cheney claiming handball there off Manning, although I don't think he'll get it.
And a foul on the LA Force on Villon as he knocks down Pato.
Villon absolutely cannot believe that that was a free kick against him.
Boy, he sells it though, doesn't he?
He really does.
Great competitor.
Future Oscar Award winner, no doubt.
Sadie. He's been on the Detroit City roster, the only player every year of their existence, as Manning will play it back.
Just caught a bit of a glimpse of what I was talking about there with the fullbacks tray, in that Filerman was being followed everywhere. Almost playing man for man, the LA defense here. Every time any of those advanced fullbacks get a touch of the ball, they have someone right on their tail, nowhere to turn, and he'll follow him everywhere. He'll follow him into the middle, wherever he has to go, completely desert his position. It certainly seems to be the tactic that Talias Peterson and the LA Force have been employing so far in this game. Trying to nullify all service coming from the wing.
Play compact D first. That's been the goal throughout the course of the season. Here's Colwell, been a big part of that D. Manning trying to get back with Barrera there. Barrera touching the box, knocked down.
He's not going to get anything for that one. He's just out-muscled there by Manning.
Sadie now as the game opens up a little bit. Here's Rutz. Rutz making his move. Diagonal pass, Pato outside the box. Pato with the cross. Far post, header, deflected. Shot by Sadie, and it's turned away by Gomez.
And what a hit that was from Cyrus Sadie there. He really had Gomez scrambling. This game has jolted into life here in this past 2-3 minutes. Pato does well. Good header out, but it does fall quite kindly to Cyrus Sadie. It may take a deflection on the way through, but Brandon Gomez wasn't taking any risks. He was straight down to push that one wide. Corner.
Sadie, near post. Couple black jerseys there. He tracks it down, fires it back in there. High in the air. Pato trying to win it, cannot. Venegas now. It's Detroit City putting something together. A little bit of chemistry on the attack. Filerman. Rutz. And it's cleared out.
It's the first time we've really seen Filerman get into any sort of advanced position with the ball going forward. He had two men breaking off him there. He lost his marker. He's quite unfortunate to not actually have the ball threaded through all the way to Connor Rutz. But this is very attacking play here from Detroit, really putting the pressure on now.
Here's Gordillo Moreno now. Lost control of that one, was trying to settle it and set something up. Took his eye off the ball. Sadie navigating. Number 10's got it back with some space. Flicks it forward. Maxi Rodriguez, a touch.
Had to be off, yeah.
And it was offsides.
I was wondering if if the offside flag was ever going to come up there, Trey. The lovely little flick over there by Cyrus Sadie. Maxi Rodriguez was the only one on the same wavelength with him, but mistimed his run according to the line-up.
Gustavo Solorio, our referee here. As you look at the refs from Hamtramck, Michigan in this NISA championship. Villon to Barrera. Here's Sadie again. Very involved here in the second half. Pato. Let's flick forward for Rutz. Colwell with a collision with Rutz. He goes down again.
Really has
free kick opportunity.
He's been beaten black and blue, Connor Rutz. All it takes. Knows he has to put his body in the way. Been manhandled several times now. Although he's still making a nuisance of himself, putting himself around.
Here's Venegas now. Great on the service. You see the wall built towards the top of the screen. Bends it towards the far post, over everybody's head.
Just a bit too much on it. That's exactly what you want in a delivery. Bit of whip. Just wanting to be touched in. That one was just slightly above the head of all Detroit City and LA Force players.
Venegas has played really well in postseason play. He was last fall on the NISA all-tournament team.
He's a quality player, Venegas. See, he has made it to the top levels of soccer in this country. You know, he can be as dangerous attacking as he is in defense.
Well, there's a mistake there. Gomez just playing it out. Nobody there to receive the ball. Now Filerman with a foul.
It's just silly from Filerman. Yeah, he kills all the momentum that his team had there. Brandon Gomez had a couple of nervy moments tonight. That one just the latest, but Filerman, thankfully for Gomez, commits a foul. Takes the pressure off slightly.
Gomez was their starter during the fall. Carried that over into play along with some play from Keefe Cabrera, but Gomez has been their #1 keeper throughout the spring season. It's a free kick opportunity here.
They really can't launch the ball, Gomez.
Alvarado keeping it in play. Here's Villon. Boy, Villon and Rutz, they've taken some hits here. They keep going. The big and small, doesn't matter what size you are. It has been a physical game throughout the course of this one.
Yep, 100% in every tackle. Neither of those two will be ducking out of anytime soon. Guarantee you that. Connor Rutz and Abraham Villon. Maxi Rodriguez there as well, also putting himself about.
Juan Pablo Segeda. The throw in here, had a goal in the 70th minute against Chattanooga, very key in that semifinal. And over the head of Cheney there. Cheney a little bit frustrated.
He wants the ball to feet. The ball was way too high for him that time to even get any sort of control on it.
Oh, good touch there by Pato. Flicks it ahead. Over Rutz's head, and that one is played towards the goal. And it's an own goal. And Detroit City's in front.
And can you believe that one? Absolute miscommunication, a bit of Keystone Cops at the back for LA Force. Can you believe it after the valiant effort that they've put up in this first hour? Cometh the hour, cometh the man, I guess. 1-0 to Detroit. It wasn't pretty, but I don't think Trevor James will care. I don't think the Northern Guard will care.
Venegas the flip, and then McLaughlin it looks like.
McLaughlin, the guilty party indeed, just seems to come off his shin guard. And that really is unfortunate for the LA Force. Didn't even really do anything wrong there, honestly. It was just One of those ones Venegas does pretty well to put it into the path of Connor Rutz. It's just mistimed and miscommunication from McLaughlin, who seemed to be trying to touch it back to Brandon Gomez and not just put it into Rosette. But sometimes that can happen, a bit of a calamity, but it's 1-0 Detroit.
It's so tough because these teams are so well coached, Connell, and great athletes all over the pitch. But anytime in a championship, if there's one mistake made, that could end up being the difference, unfortunately. LA Force hoping that's not the case here.
And this really does rip up any game plan that the LA Force had here. They wanted to get the lead. They wanted to sit on that. But now they're really going to have to come out and go after Detroit City, and this is going to leave a bunch of gaps at the back for the Detroit City attackers to exploit. The LA Force will be hoping they can get back in this game ASAP.
An own goal in the 62nd minute. And that has brought alive this crowd here at Keyworth Stadium. Pato is down, and a substitution for Detroit City FC. Filerman will check off the pitch, and Javi Steinwasser, the cousin of the goalkeeper, Nate Steinwasser, will come on.
That was kind of a surprising one there. Filerman must be feeling it a bit there. Yeah, you can see walking a little gingerly. Obviously feeling something not quite right, but it gives a chance for Javi Steinwasser here to inscribe his name in the annals of soccer history by making some sort of an impact in this final.
Filerman's had a great season. 24-year-old checks off. Javi Steinwasser, native of Sterling Heights, Michigan, gets a chance.
And these are the chances that every young lad dreams of. Playing soccer, maybe you're on the bench to start the final, not where he wants to be, but now this is his chance to make an impact. He can do something, go and contribute to the team in a positive way. I'm sure he'll hear some positive things from the Northern Guard if he does so.
Samuel Goney's going to come in for the LA Force. They make a move. Alvarado, his day is done. Goney from Marcilla, Spain. He saw time in the semifinal in the second half. Free kick for Pato here. And that's delivered right at Gomez.
I think he tried to catch the goalkeeper napping there, Trey. On Samuel Goney. I was actually pretty surprised he didn't start this game. The semi-final against Chattanooga, I thought the game completely changed when he came on. He was moved further up. He was actually brought in for Edson Alvarado. He was moved further up the field, closer to Christian Cheney, and that's when the LA Force really started to tick in that semi-final. Surprised he didn't get a start today, but he'll be looking to make an impact off the bench again.
Viatoro running on that one, but Steinwasser is there. Coming out from the goal, top of the box to grab it.
That was lovely. We 1-2 play there, and as I said, Christian Gordillo Moreno just flicking the ball over the top. Any other goalkeeper, Viatoro's probably in there, but Steinwasser, he's so confident in his own ability, straight out there to gather that ball, smother it in, give his defense a bit of a reprieve. A better play going forward for the Force.
Rutz for Manning on the left flank. Pato surrounded. Sadie. Rutz right there. As Osegueda stayed with him.
They're all in there in the mix fighting for it. I know that there's not long left to go in this game. To give everything to try and get something out of it. It's really crunch time, as you said, for the LA Force, Trey. Do or die time.
Approaches 67 minutes now gone. it's already a daunting task against this defense. Now down a goal. We know what the LA Force can do. Saw that in the NISA semifinal against Chattanooga. This is a different defense to deal with, though. Despite all the offensive prowess they have. Cordia Moreno with a good cross in front, and there's a good opportunity. Just wide as Goni was running on the keeper.
And he got a good run on him as well. Detroit City FC are sure that he was offside here. They were running over, complaining to the assistant referee. It was a good ball in and he attacked it well. Just got in front of Stephen Carroll and Matt Lewis there. First time today someone's actually got in behind them and got an effort on goal. Doesn't actually look like he's offside. I don't know what the Detroit City defense are arguing about.
And you mentioned it, they do not make many mistakes on that back line. It looked like an opportunity, maybe. Is that an opportunity that goes by the boards for the LA Force here that they might need with 68 minutes gone?
Yeah, just from what we've seen of them this season, I mean, it's not, you said it's a different defense. Not only that, it's the stingiest defense in the league. 3 goals given up, just the 1 from open play. And that was a real chance there for the LA Force. I mean, when you look at it, they were in the 6-yard box in front of the goalkeeper. All they needed to do was hit the target. Easier said than done, of course, with the ball being whipped in with such pace.
Oh, yellow's been issued here on the assistant coach for the LA Force.
Just going to want to keep their heads cool here, the LA Force. They're going to need everybody on that line. They need to be together as a team here. That's how they've won in previous games.
It's Chava Moran, the assistant coach, a yellow card issued to the bench.
For some dissent, I'm assuming.
Here's Maxi Rodriguez now with an opportunity top of the box. Rodriguez plays it into a couple black shirts there, but a yellow comes out. They were tugging on his jersey on his move towards the goal, and then the yellow issued.
That's good refereeing, to be fair. He pulled it back. He seen that there was still an advantage there. He let the ball play on for as long as he could, but just one foul too many by Eric Villatoro. Gets himself in the book. Rodriguez does well here. It's a great first touch to get it out of his feet. One tug, and Villatoro just tries to clip the heels, just trying to foul him at any cost. He does earn himself a caution for it.
All right, this spot on the field, Connell, could be a danger zone for the LA Force. We know how good Venegas is over the ball.
Yeah, you think he would probably want to try and work the goalkeeper from here, Trey. Does seem to be, maybe it is a little far out, almost directly in front of the goal. So it's a tough technique to do to get this up and down, but if anyone can do it.
Venegas, and that flies high. Sailed on him.
Yeah, he just never really got over that one. Venegas. Seen what he was trying to do, trying to get it up and down, but as I said, that is an extremely difficult technique to do, especially when you have a wall of black shirts in front of you to beat.
Keep it in, the offensive end. Sadie with a good ball. Chamakov, the cross, and Rutz was running on it, and he just missed him.
And the LA Force really need to stay switched on at the back here. They cannot afford to give up another goal. One more goal and it's almost dead and buried.
Lewis getting back. Great play defensively from Matt Lewis. Kansas City, Missouri product.
That really is great defense there. Formerly of Swope Park Rangers, Matt Lewis. We're seeing some tricky, silky skills from Maxi Rodriguez there. The crowd enjoyed that one.
And there's a collision in the air. Pato is knocked down and a foul.
This really seems like Detroit City, they're feeling themselves here. They can kind of let the LA Force foul all over the park. They'll take all these touches.
A neat and tidy ball there from Sadie to start that opportunity. 72 minutes gone here. And a delay, a yellow card on Pato here.
It is a little early to be trying to kill the game. Still got 18 minutes of regulation left here. We're going to be trying to run the ball into the corner from here. We're in for a long 18 minutes. Detroit City.
An own goal in the 62nd minute, the difference thus far. Venegas fires it, far post, punched into the air by Gomez.
That's a good punch by the goalkeeper.
Sadie chips it back in. Pato wins that against Villon with his size.
With Detroit City already leading, they don't really have too many players in the attacking third. For obvious reasons, they don't really have to score anymore. They've got themselves on the board. It's all down to LA to come and try and break them down now, which they could do down this right-hand side.
Viatoro gets it to Barrera. He's surrounded. Barrera to Gordia Moreno. Flips it to Cheney. Back to Gordia Moreno. Good connection there, but it's broken up. And that's that back line again doing the job.
Matt Lewis again doing well. They're stepping up, taking control, taking command. Saying, this is my ball, I'm going to win it. He starts off a promising Detroit City attack, which comes to nothing.
And Venegas is knocked down, and another yellow's coming out, it looks like. Perez. Look like Perez. Let's take a look here. Number 3, Perez.
Certainly seemed to be a bit of a stomp at the end there. I think Perez can count himself lucky that it's only a yellow card he's getting there. He certainly did seem to come down with a degree of
the yellow issued to Perez. Substitution for the LA Force, trying to make the right moves here in the late stages of this one. Kavi Kashani, the Los Angeles product, who played at UCSB, is going to come on.
It'll be interesting to see if Perez is actually the man that makes way.
Chamakov being attended to.
A bit of tightness.
Look at this. You talked about this earlier when we were chatting. This is phenomenal. They're a brick wall anyway, and then you give them a lead, look out.
Indeed. That's why LA Force will be kicking themselves for not getting themselves out in front, because that is really a damning statistic right there. Unbelievable defense and character from the Detroit City Football Club there. You see, anytime they go ahead, they do not lose that game. Certainly looking like it's going to be a case of that this time as well, unless the LA Force can find something here from the bench in Kavian Kashani and Demore Aliwine.
And Perez will check off, as does Viatoro. So Talis Peterson trying to make the moves here. He's had plenty of speed that has helped his club throughout the course of the season coming off the bench. Kashani, a defender who has a goal against New Amsterdam this year, and now Espinal and Torre will come onto the pitch. A counter move by Trevor James.
It's interesting there, Trevor James kind of matching up exactly what the LA Force are doing here, as you said, trying to counteract that. Espinal, he'll of course move up front for Connor Rutz. Torre there to give a bit more solidity to that back line.
Espinal played, he was a New York Cosmos player from Pasadena. And for Rutz, who took the brunt a lot of the physical play in this game.
He really has been through the wars today. And it's kind of a last throw of the dice for Thales Peterson. Those substitutions, trying to get something going here in the attacking third.
Good move by Gordillo Moreno here, keeping possession. 5 jerseys in the vicinity, though, and maybe trying to do a little bit too much there.
Certainly getting to that stage, Trey. He's feeling that he's a bit frustrated, no one around him is moving. Trying to do everything himself. He ends up losing out because of the traffic of gold jerseys in front of him.
Ollie Wine. Here's Colwell. How do you get Cheney some touches here? They try it here, out in front of Barrera, but Steinwasser there, and then a collision. Barrera and Steinwasser collide in the box. Oh, and there's a yellow coming out.
It's maybe slightly harsh on Barrera, honestly. Don't think he could really stop himself from going. His forward momentum there. Ball comes right into Steinwasser, but Barrera was going at him at speed. Obviously, they've called it endangering the safety of an opponent, but not really sure there's much that Diego Barrera could have done there, although I'm sure it was a sore one for Nate Steinwasser.
Steinwasser, a confident leader, not only on the field, but in the clubhouse, according to Trevor James. It shows out there on the field, at least. There's Torre. Good move. Torre tries to cross it, and he'll get a corner kick out of that.
It's good work from the substitute there. Exactly what Trevor James will want from him, trying to stretch this game and pull those LA Force players out of position. They're going to be going hell for leather here. They're going to be leaving spots open. Torre done his best to exploit that there, getting to the byline.
There's Espinal with the corner kick. We approach the 80th minute. Punched up into the air. Manning plays it forward. Espinal. Looking for a counter the other way, but it's kept in by Detroit City.
Javi Steinwasser trying to send that one all the way back to LA. He's getting it right out of there. Doesn't matter where it goes, as long as the break is stopped. The LA Force.
I think the Northern Guard senses something here. 10 minutes regulation time left. The added time as well. They have seen this happen so many times. On the cusp of another championship. Getting an own goal in the 62nd minute. Doesn't matter how you get it. You mentioned that. Their defense has been so good.
It really has. And they've, even tonight, they've just picked up where they left off, Trey. They've been super. Anything that's come near them, I think Anthony Manning, a special mention must go to him. I think he's been solid today. Anything that's come anywhere near him, he's got way out of harm's way, but it's lovely footwork there.
Gordillo Moreno, that's broken up momentarily by Rodriguez, but it's a touch for Cheney. Cheney, Rodriguez takes it back.
Christian Cheney really just not getting it going at all today. Trying to do too much, looking for someone to make a run. Not really being present of everybody else around him. Here, 1, 2. Could have took a few, slipped a few players in there, but he decided to dally on the ball.
How about the engine for Maxi Rodriguez in this game? Both halves, he's been fantastic.
He really has been putting himself about everywhere. Definitely a candidate for man of the match. Is the big midfielder.
Cheney cannot get to that one as he tumbles. Tommy Steinwasser the other way. Good ball right there. Espinal. Past Olliewine. Sadie. Steinwasser with some space now. Playing the possession game here. Steinwasser. Torre against Kashani. Espinal fires it, and it's high.
Osegueda, very strange, they're just backed off, almost asking Espinal to hit the shot. Guess he fouled. He was far enough out that it wouldn't really pressure the goalkeeper. There's not a lot of urgency to get out there from the defender.
Even on the shots on goal and own goal, the difference. The 62nd minute. Here's Sadie trying to run on that one. Play by Colwell. It's been solid back there. Oh, and there's a hard challenge there as Steinwasser goes down, and a yellow card comes out on Goni.
Yeah, just slightly mistimed the thing. Steinwasser got there first, nicked the ball away from him, almost made Goni foul him. Another name into the book. I would say maybe a bit of tiredness creeping into the game, but Goni not long off the bench. The referee was almost faster putting that yellow card out than Javi Steinwasser was getting rid of the ball.
Mentioned how big a deal it is for Steinwasser to have an opportunity here in this NISA championship. His cousin Nate, of course, has been consistently a star as the keeper. Z Matthews is going to check in now. Eye for the goal from Johannesburg, South Africa. He'll come in for Pato.
Pato, maybe he hasn't really had it all his own way today. He's had some important touches up there. He stretched the back line. He's done well. Let's see if Z Matthews can add anything else. He's a very tricky player. Lovely. He receives the ball lovely on the half turn. Always looking to go forward. Always looking to take people on. See if he can put his marker down on this game. 2 balls on the pitch. Referee will stop.
Which one do you follow there, Connell?
Indeed.
Both of them.
For LA Force, whatever one's closer to the other goal, I think.
Detroit City looking for another goal here that would almost put this one away with 85 minutes gone. Time dwindling. Here's Ollie Wine.
Interesting sub, that Ollie Wine. He's a very defensive-minded player. He'll sit back there now and let some of the more technical players give them a bit more license to roam forward.
Steinwasser challenged Cheney there, and then he's knocked down by Ollie Wine as he moves forward.
He's done well since he came on, Steinwasser. Fresh legs. He's been stretching that LA Force defense when they've been looking to try and get the ball forward. It's been a bit of a thorn in the side. Dragging them all the way back, dragging them to the byline, forcing them to commit fouls. Exactly what Trevor James would have wanted from him.
Manning. Here's Espinal with a move, top of the box. Tracked by Barrera, who wins the ball. Torre. Maxi Rodriguez with a shot high. That would have been fitting the way he's played today. What a crowd here, sellout crowd at Keyworth Stadium. We got their phone lights on. Look at the attendance. We've seen smoke, we've seen drum playing, and a tremendous crowd. And this is a championship level excitement here at Hamtramck, Michigan.
It really is. I mean, they're a joy to watch. It's a joy to call a game with supporters like this, Trey. They really know what it means to win these big games. They're there, even when they're not winning, they're there. I've been doing my research on Hamtramck, Michigan this week. It's only made me want to actually visit the city more. Great diverse city.
Anybody that has a train near their pitch, that's got me excited. Part of the character here. Now a chance to put a nail in the coffin, possibly. Torre. Espinal with the shot, and that curls wide of the mark.
That train maybe held up here, trying to. Thales Peterson and the LA Force might be looking to jump on that and get all the way back to the West Coast soon.
How about the suites there? That's where you would be spending some time if you weren't broadcasting. And the smoke bombs, part of the color here.
It looks like a coliseum to play sports in.
The ball by Gordillo Moreno, and that's put on by Cheney wide of the mark. One of their best opportunities, and he just missed.
That's exactly where he is so key for the LA Force. All it takes is one chance like that. He gets one chance. You try and put it on goal. He wasn't too far away that time. Good ball in. He raises the highest up like a salmon in between the two defenders. Just wide of the post, unfortunately, for Cheney. Although it does reinforce the Detroit City exactly what threat he poses. Though it looks like the fans don't really care. They're having a whale of a time.
They're sensing another championship possibly. Still time to go. An own goal the difference. Here's Torre. Steinwasser challenging that one. Back to the goal, but way out is Cheney. Little time to waste. It'll be a throw-in for Detroit City.
I think he knew that one was going against him there. Just a bit of frustration from Christian Cheney. Been bad for him. He's kind of been on an island tonight on his own up there. That was all due to the great defense from Detroit City, as we've come to expect from them. But my, look at that colorful party there on the side.
See Matthews now trying to gobble up some time here as we approach 90 minutes. We'll have some added time. Great move right there. Fires it in there, a one hopper, and that was interesting. It took a couple hops as Gomez finally secures it. Quickly now on the outlet. Cheney with a move, past Manning, and a whistle. A foul is called. So what can you do with this now as we approach 90 minutes?
Well, they have to go for broke, Trey. It's all down to this last throw of the dice, last chance saloon. Everybody that you can in that box, try and attack it. Vion screaming at more reinforcements to get back up in there. He's going to sit back.
You can see the added time. Christian Gordillo Moreno has been fantastic. The Mexico City product, a great playmaker. Here's the ball, far post, over the head of the keeper.
That really is so good from Nate Steinwasser, the Detroit City defense. They all take a sigh of relief. That ball can go anywhere in there. Got a commanding goalkeeper out to punch it. Gives them all, they can all take a sigh, breath of fresh air.
He saved a big PK against Chattanooga in the semifinal, preserving the victory. And Cheney goes down. Wants some help, not going to get it. And Cheney is going to get a yellow card here. He runs into the keeper, who gets a few words from Steinwasser.
I think you needed the subtitles to see what Steinwasser was mouthing to Cheney there. Was not very happy with him. Steinwasser was doing a bit of the dark arts, rolling with the ball, almost asking Cheney to come and tackle him, but judged to have been a bit too hard.
Let's take a look at what happened here.
there. No real rush to lift the ball.
Had his foot stepped on and was frustrated in the aftermath of that since he went after the keeper.
I think it actually touched him there.
Frustrating evening for a guy that has been so dominant with 7 goals, the Golden Boot winner of the spring season. Hoping for some magic here in the late stages. No time to waste now for the LA Force. That gets through. Bicycle kick from Cheney. Not a bad move there. Steinwasser ready for it.
Bit of improvisation there from Cheney. They couldn't really do much else. Had his back to goal. Ball dropped in front of him. Although they could be in here.
Here's Matthews with some space. Against Aliwine. Espinal. And precious little time left now for the LA Force, and no rush for Detroit City FC as Torre saunters toward the ball.
So close. They can practically taste it right now, Detroit City, and the 7,000 capacity crowd that they have in here.
Torre into the corner. Matthews cannot keep it in, and only a minute or so left for the LA Force. So they have one last run at it here.
It all comes down to this, Trey. This is what this spring season's been for. You're going to have to dig deep here.
Gomez with the ball. Barrera against Espinal. Sadie high in the air. We got a whistle here.
Kitchen sink time.
You'd love to at least get the ball on Cheney's foot somehow, some way here. Gomez.
Leon didn't really know what he wanted to do with it there.
Goni. Back to Osagata. He tries from distance into the wall. Gomez back in. Headed towards Steinwasser, and that may do it. Nate Steinwasser goes to the turf, and Detroit City can taste another championship.
Yeah, he's just going to take his time with this one, Nate Steinwasser. Referee must be looking, glancing at the watch now. Close enough. That'll do it.
That'll do it from the key. Detroit City FC champions again. They win the NISA Spring Championship. Another trophy for Trevor James and this Detroit City FC team. 1-0, an own goal in the 62nd minute, the difference.
Well, I think that huge banner above the Northern Guard just says it all. Unstoppable, this Detroit City team have been. Irresistible, untouchable at times, and now through the spring season, invincible.
Great turnout from the Northern Guard, the fan base at Keyworth Stadium, and Nate Steinwasser. At one point, 7 straight clean sheets. He gets another one here, and again, great defense. That's been the story throughout the course of this season. And Trevor James celebrates another one.
I think we might be seeing some afters here from the LA Force.
Red card to the bench, we understand, but that doesn't take away from the celebration for this Detroit City team. Fall champs, NISA Legends Cup champions, top of the spring table, and now NISA champions again. Look at the crowd support here, Connell, tremendous.
Absolutely incredible, and look, you can't say they don't deserve it. They've been the better team tonight. LA Force, they did. They tried to pressure them. They tried to put them under MVP, but what can you do? You're coming up against Detroit City. They are the best team in NISA. They're showing why. They always trusted that a chance would fall. Maybe it didn't go in via their boot, but they'll take it. Another trophy for the cabinet.
We'll be back to wrap it up. We'll hear from Trevor James, the victorious coach. Detroit City FC, 1-0 winners over the LA Force. They're NISA champions. More to come. Back in Hamtramck, Michigan, Detroit City FC, NISA champions once more. They continue their string of championships after winning the fall, the NISA Legends Cup, now the spring season. And Trevor James joins us, the NISA Coach of the Year, celebrating here. Coach, you talked about how there's always pressure to win. It makes you stronger, and you really showed some character. How'd you feel about this one? Coach, how did you feel about this one, about the pressure to win, making you stronger? You really stepped up.
Hey, Coach, you really stepped up in this game. This is another piece of hardware for the trophy cabinet. How do you feel about this one, and where does this one rank?
Well, it's up there, isn't it? I mean, what a tough night. I mean, very good team, very good LA team, and obviously it's a very physical battle for us tonight, and that's not really what we're best at. So, yeah, I mean, it's up there. Obviously, another great win. We're on a great run. We keep winning, and obviously we won some cups, but this one is, you know, this is a national one. This puts a star on the jersey, and everybody will remember that, and the people involved in it, and that's great for the players because they deserve it.
You had a really tough opponent tonight, LA Force. They were coming in flying really high, winning the last 7 out of 8. What did you expect from them to bring tonight? Did you expect it to be quite as physical as it was?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that question. I'm sorry.
I said, you came up against a pretty tough LA Force team tonight. Did you expect the game to be as physical as it was?
Again, you're breaking up, but I think, you know, it's what we expected. We expected them to be very good on the ball. They're a very good footballing team, and we, you know, we've seen plenty of them recently. And it's just what we expected. We thought we would have to work hard. We thought we would have to battle. We didn't create as many chances as we normally do, but again, that's, you know, just an adjustment we had to make to give us the best chance to win the game. And so I apologise if I'm not answering your question, but I can't hear it.
Yes, not a problem. They're going to need a bigger cabinet if they plan on keeping you in town. Congratulations.
Detroit City FC winners over the LA Force, NISA champions, and really their defense has been fantastic and so consistent. You can't say enough about their keeper Steinwasser and then Lewis, Manning, and Carroll.
Well, of course, look, you go all the way through the season, Trey, you can see 3 goals. I mean, it speaks for itself. They've been pretty untouchable, pretty irresistible at the back line. They haven't allowed much. Nate Steinwasser there enjoying a beer, and by does he deserve it. What an effort he put in tonight and all season.
A 1-0 victory. A goal in the 62nd minute, an own goal off the foot of Seamus McLaughlin. Obviously a tough way to lose if you're the LA Force, but what a season they had, winning 7 of 9, and they have a dynamic offensive team, a team really to look forward to in the coming season.
They really do. I mean, they stepped up to the board. The question was, who is going to be able to stop this Detroit City FC team? Obviously, it's turned out that no one has been able to do it this year, but they were definitely the front runners. They gave themselves that position this year by playing some great football that they have. Getting Christian Cheney in, of course, seems to be a master stroke now by Talius Peterson, as he really brought the whole season alive for them and gave the best effort against this Detroit City juggernaut.
Medals being handed out here, and as you would expect, Detroit City winning a lot of the awards this week. Trevor James, the NISA Coach of the Year winner. Hato, the Golden Ball winner, the MVP of the NISA spring season. Nate Steinwasser, the Golden Glove winner, Goalkeeper of the Year. Stephen Carroll, NISA Defender of the Year. But they're complementary parts. How about the play of Maxi Rodriguez today? He was active.
He really was. And another player, like we mentioned with Villon in the first half, he's not a player that's going to be grabbing all the headlines, although he seemed to be trying to do it with some of those long-range efforts towards the end of the game. But he really did put himself about today. He was made himself a real punishment for anyone that was trying to get in and around him. He's a big physical guy, likes to use his body, and he also is a pretty tidy player with the ball at his feet as well. He done well today.
Detroit City FC coach Trevor James mentioned that to motivate this team, you know, the bar is set so high, the expectations are so high, the fans expect excellence. They watched video of the last 2 years of successes, and he said that's gone a long way to, you know, keeping that bar at that level.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's hard to get to the top, but as they say, it's even harder to stay there. As soon as you're at the top, you're the team everyone wants to shoot at. You're there in the shop window to be shot at. LA Force gave it their best shot today, but fell short again as this Detroit City side just seems to keep winning and winning and winning. And as long as they're doing that, that Northern Guard will be there cheering them on.
Yeah, great atmosphere. You couldn't ask for a better setting in terms of the NISA Championship, in terms of the Keyword Stadium. Cyrus Sadie, the longest tenured Detroit City player on the roster every year of their existence. Such a key piece.
But he had a good game today as well. Sadie didn't really get a lot of room to work with as the LA Force plays such compact defense, as you were mentioning. Didn't really have a lot of room to work with, but when he was getting the ball, that little flick and stuff, he was trying to make things happen, trying to pick the lock.
You know, in any sports league, Connell, and you know this having seen a lot of sports, people love powerhouses. I mean, dynasties. This is starting to develop into one of those. I mean, it's good for the league when you have a team that is as good as this team is, and people take notice.
Well, I mean, it really all starts at the boardroom level, doesn't it? It's who you employ. Do you get the right man in? And in Trevor James, it really looks like they have got the right man in. The man with the Midas touch. As I said, everything he touches seems to turn to gold, turn to championships in some way. And that's just going to continue. I can't really see anybody taking down this Detroit City team unless something happens dramatic within the next year. They are definitely still the team to beat.
Well, this LA Force team could be one of those up-and-coming teams that could challenge them. You also learn a lot from your first championship appearance. And the thing that was impressive about LA this season was having to carve out wins on the road with their hard work. And they really put themselves in a great position. And really, if not for the own goal, who knows? We could still be playing soccer right now. I
actually think we probably would have been. Honestly, they really did give a valiant effort. They know how to win ugly is the thing with LA Force, and that really, it sounds bad, but that really is a compliment to their team. They know even when they don't play well, they can try and get the ball up to their difference makers, get the ball into the feet of the likes of Christian Cheney and Christian Gordillo Moreno. No doubt they'll be back next year to have another great run at it.
Well, of course, you know, at the start of the season, we talked about Chandler Hoffman being lost to a knee injury at the NISA Legends Cup. We understand the knee brace is off. That's good news. It remains to be seen his timetable about coming back, but a lot of good pieces for this LA Force team. The bar's been set high, not only in Detroit, but across NISA by this Detroit City FC squad and Trevor James.
It really has. Trevor James just enjoying the reception. It is thoroughly deserved from the Northern Guard. I mean, what else can you say about the man? Everywhere he goes, he seems to win. And he has that man in his back pocket as well. It's not usually a bad thing to have in Stephen Carroll, the man out of Cork. I'm sure all of his family and friends in the Rebel County will be watching on, cheering.
I was going to ask you, do you think there are some interested parties in Cork, Ireland right now?
Oh, definitely. They haven't had too much to shout about recently with their GAA and their soccer teams down there, but thankfully they have a shining spark over here in Stephen Carroll, who he's picking up all the silverware. I wonder how he's going to get it all home with him to Cork.
It's a lot of hardware, no doubt, and it never gets old, I can imagine. And the other thing about it is these championships get more difficult. The more you win, the more people want to knock you off. It's not easy staying on top, and they don't want to know what the feeling's like not being on top.
Absolutely. They want this feeling over and over again. The Invincibles.
Yeah. There it is. NISA champions. Spring season 2021, Detroit City FC. What an accomplishment.
It really is. No one can say they don't deserve it.
So the train rolls on, doesn't it, for Detroit City FC?
It does indeed. I think Talis Peterson and the LA Force will be on the first train out of there, but these boys will be enjoying their celebrations tonight. And by do they deserve it. Go straight over there to celebrate with the capacity crowd that have came in here tonight and given their backing. May not have been the prettiest game, but another piece of hardware for the cabinet.
Detroit City FC winning it over the LA Force 1-0, and the celebration may go deep into the night in Michigan. Quiet, a little bit subdued in the first half, but the Northern Guard was loud in that second half, especially after that goal in the 62nd minute. And the celebration continues in Hamtramck, Michigan. One nothing. The final score, Detroit City FC over the LA Force. They are NISA champions in this spring season. Thanks to Connell McCourt and producer-director Kevin Shank and our entire crew for their work throughout the course of the season. Stay tuned, more to come. NISA action, Independent Cup matches on BN Sports. A chance to take a closer look at the Cal United Strikers and the Maryland Bobcats. A great way to bridge the gap from the spring season to the fall season, and some friendlies coming up on July 10th and July 24th. Thanks to everybody involved in the broadcast. Again, a big win for Detroit City FC, 1-0 over the LA Force. NISA champs. Good night from Hamtramck, Michigan.